Want to tell us a little bit more about the property that you bought?
We farm age on 75th and Pike, and we have put in a water system, which in
NRCS.
yeah, and we got a grant from them, and we're putting in a deal where it's I would say a kind of a flow system. It's been around for years, but we've put in a well, piped it up to rubber tanks, and it more or less feeds itself. And we put in 7 tanks so we can light up our pastures. You know, like I think we got them like 20 acres per tank, so we can rotate our cattle in the summertime rather than leaving them in one spot. And we'll leave them there for like 20 days and move them to the next spot and the next spot. But it feeds, the tanks feed them all. And that's kind of what our situation is there.
So you have, how many acres is that property?
The tanks are probably about 200 acres.
So your pasturable acreage is 200.
Yeah, but we rode that way, we can rotate. And the reason we done that is because we used to just let the cattle graze on, or well, I guess it'd be waste part down through the ditches and stuff, and they start drying up on us. So we decided to go this route. Plus, we can gain more by acreage with these tanks. We can graze them for, you know, like say 14 days and move on to the next one, and rather than overgraze the whole thing. And
So have you noticed an increase in rich production using that system?
really, yes, yeah. And we're really not done with it yet. We're still struggling with it, weather-wise and everything else. And but yeah, it makes a big difference.
So a couple hundred acres, you're splitting huge pastures into smaller pastures.
Right.
So
We got 7 tanks rather than just one area. We got one area and we're putting 7 tanks in that area and splitting it up. But like I say, this project's been, gosh, I don't know when it's been, to be honest with you. It's been around for a long time.
So what can you share about what have you learned about this kind of an infrastructure project, this scale? You get some money from NRCS to do some of it.
It increases our production on our grazing.
Okay.
Rather than, you know, if we graze that one spot and we're gone, you know, we're out for a long time. With this system, we're in, out, and back in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest benefit. You know, before we graze it, we'd have to take cows off, and that was the end of the year. This year we get kind of like 2 crops in one.
So are you able to keep cows on the property all year round?
Yeah,
Do you have to feed supplementally?
yeah.
Yeah.
We still have to supplement some, but it prolongs it. Yeah.
Jerry, are these separate pastures for each tank?
Yeah, we put a tank in every 20 acres.
Where does the water come from?
And we're pumping them out of our ponds that, that's already there. I would like to, what I would like to do, and we can't figure it out yet, but I'd like to get a gradual flow out of the lake itself. You know, plummet in at the bottom of the lake and do a gradual flow thing.
What fills the lakes then?
It's just basically a lake, and we fill it up with the ditch water in the spring and up through the summer. And then like now, we're pumping out of our ponds this full, pretty much, yeah. It's all ditch water that goes into the lake, and then we pump it back out,
So Jerry, can you explain this picture up here?
That's the pumping station. There's a vacuum tank and everything and there's a float on the other end of all this lines here. And when the water goes down in the tank, it'll fill it, and that valve there controls. Say like if the tank is empty, that pump will come on. And when the tank is full, the water tank is full, it will shut off.
So is this in a pump house
Yeah,
that you have to heat?
been cold a last couple days. But every time the tank goes down, this will kick on and refill. That is a tank that is full ice, but there's nothing in it, I mean, as far as cattle drinking out of it. But that would be the tank itself that's full of water if there's cattle in it.
Break the ice.
Kinda, yeah. Oh, it's not terribly bad as long as you do it every day. But yeah, it'll create ice. We thought maybe it wouldn't, but it does.
How long have you been farming on that property?
Good question. Too long.
Long time.
Yeah.
Are these some of the most significant changes you've made over your management time?
Oh, we've done a lot of changes. We've put different fences up and this and that, bridges, and I mean, it's one of them nightmares you're gonna fix every day. And, so,
What size tire was that?
What size tire?
I think that's a 10-footer. And they make bigger ones. And they make smaller.
Where did you get the tire? Where did you get that tank?
Out of the fence post. Yeah, there's an ad fence post saying we got tires for water. And we called them up and they brought them out. But I'll say one thing, they brought one tire we had that had a hole in the side. And there's no rebate on it. Once you buy them, it's yours. But, no, they make bigger tires, smaller tires,
So do you have to do all that plumbing there?
Yeah, we didn't quite do everything that they said they would. We put the valve on the bottom of the tank. And that was kind of a problem because where the tire is on the bottom, and we put cement in the bottom, which I never could believe that either. they said, throw the tire down in the ground, put cement in the middle of it, and the water's gonna hold. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, that cement, that water's gonna run through that cement, eventually. But it doesn't for some reason. And so, but we put a valve, our float on the bottom, and we're having a problem. We can't get our float low enough to keep it from freezing. And, but so far it's working. The overflow valve, it's in there, but I don't know what purpose it is. I mean,
Have you thought about putting a little feeder valve below your float and let it cycle a little bit?
well, originally, that would be the trick. To take where the water comes in and return that water back to your pond.
Yeah, that's a lot of,
Constant flow.
or just let it drain out.
Yeah, but there again, you're gonna have a big water hole somewhere.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I understand. Have you ever had a broken water line? Eventually it comes up off the top of the ground.
So are all the tanks full at all the time, or do you change the water for the cows?
The way it's fixed up right now, they're all full. Yeah, which is another thing. We should have put a dump valve somewhere, like the tanks that, like the first picture, that was full of water. That one really, you should have a dump valve to shut it off so the tank's empty. But the way it's fixed up right now, everything's full.
So you're running 1.5 PVC underground? That whole
Inch and a
distance?
quarter.
1.25. How many feet, how many miles of pipe, and how deep?
We ended up with like, gosh, I don't know how many feet we ended up with, like 2-3 miles.
I don't know.
And yeah,
How deep is it?
4 feet, which we didn't really want to do, but that's what their recommendations was. But to go 4 feet. And that was another trick too. So we thought, well, we got to go, 3 miles with pipe. So we went and bought a trencher, because we were priced to rent them. And, you fell over after they told you what they wanted. So we went and bought our own, and that lasted about like 2 days. And then we went and rented them. I mean, trenching was the biggest problem in the whole system. Just forever and ever and ever, And other than that, after you get your trenching done, it's fairly simple, really. Lay the line and plumb back in there. The trenching is the biggest problem. If you gotta
Find any
go,
rocks?
what's that?
Find any rocks?
1 or 2. Yeah. And that was one of the problems.
All right.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
Thank you.